Don in London, hello, May 31st, 2009. And it's very sunny here in London, UK. First weekend of really, really good weather. So it's nearly June, and my video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, or substance and behaviour. And my substance, my favourite addictive substance was alcohol, probably still is, but I just don't drink it anymore. And my behaviour got outlandish, I guess. Most of it was to do with pleasing people, thinking that I would feel better if I did what you wanted, and not necessarily what I wanted. So there was a lot of people pleasing going on in my life, because if I looked right and felt right, I thought I must be right. And the answer was I never felt quite right. Otherwise I wouldn't become an addict, would I? So where am I today? Well, a little bit further on the path of sobriety, just one day at a time. And I live with a 24-hour program, that is, life in the day, living in the day, trying to see reality. I see reality as a spiritual connection to living, that is, to find the truth of now, to be in the present moment. Idealistic? Well, I guess not these days. Just making progress, and never perfect. And for the first time in many years, I read a book through. I'll talk more about that maybe when I really appreciate and understand a story of real life and where it took a person. And the gift is, if we learn anything in this life, it's to find the truth and be able to deal with life as it happens. So for me, what helps me, family, community, society, a medical profession who know how to help me with my type 1 diabetes, not caused by lifestyle, caused by a virus, although I would have preferred to have been the perpetrator of that illness. But I also have another one called clinical depression, and that goes up and down as it does, and sometimes it's okay and life is fairly tranquil and serene, and other times it's devastatingly desolate and lonely, and it causes me to want to be isolated and just shut the door and not do anything. Horrible, but I have to face that truth, and it happens on occasion, it just does. So for me, fellowship also helped me. That is the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, full of unique, authentic people, just learning how to self-heal through fellowship. So we remain unique, authentic people, hopefully, get a bit of wisdom and come away from the fellowship on a daily basis with a clearer idea of how to deal with now, without a drink and without substances, and without addictive behaviours as well. So workaholic, relationshipaholic, any oldaholic, that's me. And the isms were there from a very early age, where fear, ego and brave facing were probably the most important things I learned in life from my father. And maybe from my mother I didn't learn enough courage, faith and confidence. So, you know, we are yin and yang, maybe. All those things sort of occurred to me this morning. So my video is about recovery, one day at a time. And the message is simple, really. Stick with sobriety. And how to do that? Well, the fellowship helps me. A fellowship with one intent, to keep people sober for one day. So, yes, unique, authentic we remain. And, you know, that is the most important thing. We have one similarity. Anyway, I go to fellowship meetings of AA. I don't speak for it, never can, never will. If I did, I would be blown out of my own, I suppose. I would be working out of ego, rather than a bit of courage to share a message of hope. So, AA for me, and I use it, their literature, our literature, I guess it's our literature, is freely available. Well, not free, you have to pay for it. Or if you can't afford it, somebody will give it to you. The preamble shared at every meeting of AA in London goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. I'll read that again. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So the primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. And that doesn't mean we actually try and put something on a person. A person develops their own understanding of sobriety and how to make it work for them. We are self-healing, that's the process, through fellowship, where we learn wisdom and here experience strength and hope on a daily basis, or as many times as we feel is necessary to go to meetings of AA and listen some more. And some people find other ways of keeping sober or staying sober a day at a time, and I take my hat off to them, and I can only go by what is working for me now. I tried many other ways, but AA sustains me in a place where I can be with people who understand the obsession and the craving and all the things that go with addiction, and how not to be that way anymore. So these days I don't actually crave a drink, I rarely think about it. I may talk about it a lot, but that's just me. And 35 years of drinking was a long time, and it distorted my outlook completely and made me self-centered, isolated, fearful, more egotistical, more putting on a brave face, and more fearful, I guess. So the gentle process of getting to a place of confidence or self-esteem, having a bit of courage and faith to meet the day, is really where the program has taken me, and that is then supported by family, community, society. So sobriety has to come first, and then I can learn how to love, be loved, and do something useful and be a part of. There are always consequences though, and sometimes the consequences are people don't want to know us anymore, and we have to accept that. We have to accept it, take it on the chin, and it can be very, very hurtful. But the gift is forgive them for that, and also forgive ourselves for being addicted to something we couldn't stop, which distorted us from our true purpose, which is to live as best we can and make use of our time here on the planet to be happy and with other people. So the literature which I share, daily reflections, this month is month 5, and in the year 12 steps of action. The step 5 is all about sharing our fearless moral inventory with another human being, not necessarily in the fellowship. It could be a counsellor, a priest, next door neighbour, man on the Clapham omnibus. It's who we feel we can share openly and honestly with. It's a personal choice. So yeah, step 5, absolutely critical to get all the crap out and then start with a cleaner slate, knowing always that we still have that history inside us, and it will bother us often from time to time. So on May 31st in the daily reflections, as I say, it's all about 12 steps, step 5, May, readiness to serve others. Our society has concluded that it has but one high mission, to carry the AA message to those who don't know there's a way out. The light to freedom shines bright on my fellow alcoholics as each one of us challenges the other to grow. The steps of self-improvement are small beginnings, but each step builds the ladder out of the pit of despair to new hope. Honesty becomes my tool to unfurl the chains which bound me. A sponsor who is a caring listener can help me to truly hear the message guiding me to freedom. I can ask God for the courage to live it in such a way that the fellowship may be a testimony to His favour. This mission frees me to share my gifts of wellness through a spirit of readiness to serve others. And that's the plan. And it can be, you can share it with God, your good conscience, your understanding of a higher power, the thing which makes you understand that you're not in charge, and that we're all powerless over people, places and things, and the only thing we can get right probably is to live in the day and make the best of it and be a part of, no bigger, no smaller than anybody else. So my time is coming to an end. There was a reading in As Bill Sees It on page 118, all about prelude to the programme. And it's all about, you have to sort of get to your rock bottom before you can actually realise there is nowhere else to go before you can actually start recovery. And I've tried all sorts of ways to avoid rock bottom, but I just kept hitting it over and over again, and that was my insanity. So what have I learned over the years? I need to remind myself I'm very, very human, that I am susceptible to all the ups and downs that every human has, that I need to know that I'm no different from any other human just trying to make life work. And the gift for me is an anniversary tomorrow, which I'll share more about then. So, the serenity prayer: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to learn the difference is always just for today.